Welcome to the second episode of Crucial Moments, where I will show you a game played on the year 2021, January 18th. It's a game between Shinjinso, which is Korea number one, and according to Go ratings, the world's number one, and Fanting Yu, which is ranked number 8 according to Go ratings. Now the story of the game begins here. Oh, by the way, this is the 13th Chunlan Cup quarterfinal. The story starts here. Basically, at this point, Black decides to push through, and Black is Fanting Yu. And these triangle stones are cut off by this push and cut. So at this point, I guess people will be thinking, well, okay, Black is just setting up an attack on White, so White has to take care of this group. So the next move, jumping here, is quite natural, just to try and connect the White groups. And the next move might shock you. Black played here. Well, analyzing this situation, you'd be thinking that actually Black is dead, and it's kind of not obvious what the RG might be here. But Black played here, and it's not a time Suji. So only move for White's connect, and Black played here. Again, White's only move is to connect here, and then Black throw in. That's all forcing. Atari forcing. Atari forcing. And this is the point in the game where Fanting Yu could have really turned the game in his favor. And I will show you what Michael Redmond 9 Dan said about around this point in the game.
Yeah, it does look like playing here at some point is going to be the Tetsuji.
Okay, so you saw Michael's comment, and actually, according to AI, the best move for Black now is here. And this is a really crucial moment, because if Black played here, White will be definitely in a little bit of trouble and will fall behind. And why is that? So now firstly, White cannot connect, because if White connects, then this cut is Sente, because this White group is in trouble now. So White has to save this White group, and then Black can play here. What that means is that if White now tries to capture these stones, hoping that Black to connect and then get Atari, right, and then capture the Black group, that's not going to work, because Black will just give up those 3 stones and do this. And what you realize is that now this whole White group got killed. This would be terrible for White. So the connection doesn't work, and actually this move also is the same story. Black can just cut here first and then block. When White tries to capture, just go from behind, and the whole White group is dead. So there's not really any way for White to stop the Black to Atari here, and ends up creating a code to capture these stones. So what really needs to happen now is basically 2 things. AI recommends playing here and suggests that this is the only move. So I will have a question about that later on in the video, but assuming that this is the only move, now Black can Atari, and if White now starts to go, then Black can just take, and that's actually not that many code threats for White. That's quite big enough, so maybe this is the only one, because this move disconnects this Black group if not answered. So say black just goes, oh wait, I'm not gonna fight. I can gonna connect here, and white can take, and this is kind of still okay. But actually, black can play tighter. Black can just go directly connect, and once black try to save the corner group, actually black can even play here. According to some commentary, if white comes down here, black can Atari, creating an extra eye space down here. So therefore, black can try to live somehow. Or if white, when Atari's here, if black Atari's, if white takes, then black can even try to. Okay, so black can even do this, so that black is not completely dead. There's still some RG here. So say if black just lives in the corner, white can Atari, connect here. To continue fighting this curve, white must play here. So even at this point, black can, if you look at how many liberties black's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means white has to win this code kind of like 4 times or 3 times, and let black basically get 3 extra moves on the outside to win this code. So this code almost doesn't exist for white. So this is going to be a terrible result for white. But I guess the question I have is, instead of playing here, I think the better move for white is playing here, because that kind of prevents white from being able to finish off the code by connecting to these stones. So at this point, white's only move is to Atari, then you can Atari. You can see how if white starts the code like this group is already cut off. So none of that, black being able to finish off the code by connecting at K18, none of that's going to happen. So I think this feels like the better move, but according to AI, this move actually loses some points. So the better move is actually still to play here. So what do you think? What does your AI say about this? But anyway, let's continue the story. What's really interesting was that basically after I recorded this video once, and I realized there were some mistakes in the editing and some mistakes in the commentary. So I decided to redo this video, and while I was redoing this video, a really interesting article popped up on a Chinese website done by a famous Go player, Hu Yaoyu. And he mentioned how 2 professional players saw this moment in the game, and they both saw this peep, but at different points in time. So what I mean by that is, actually, if you recall, black made quite a bit of moves to make it, or sente moves, and ended up with this shape, and then played here. But actually, what black could have done is actually at this point, without this Atari, so basically at this point black can throw in already, and if you play this is already good for black, because you can kind of save this extra Atari here. This would already cause white to get really as you can see, the win rate for white just kind of plummets, from 60, 70, 80 to in the 30s. And I think if you keep running, see, it gets worse and worse and worse. So actually, even playing this at this earlier stage is also doable. And I believe this was found by Koje. So now, so the question is, what if can I just do this right now, even without this? So you're gonna have to throw in, take, and then, and as you can see, the win rate for white is on a continual path downwards. So basically what this means is that I can even play it here, and I did check with the AI, and yeah, you see how now white's win rate is down to 25%. It's really bad. So actually, once you have played this move, and if the throw-in works, then you can already play J19, and that's already terrible for white. So that's something that's really interesting that just popped up, and that's why Michael Redman had this comment in the stream.
I don't really get why he did not play.
At some point, that's very, very interesting, because that point could have been anywhere in this sequence. But in the real game, that didn't really happen. And unfortunate for Fan, instead of playing this beautiful move here, he cut. This was terrible for black, because now that's white's only move, and if this he now plays here, white can just come here, and there's absolutely no way for him to win like this. So black's only move is here, which white can Atari. So it's kind of back to one of the earlier diagrams where I said white just play here K18 and then start the code this way. But the difference here is that black made this really bad exchange of cutting here and letting white capture these stones. In the earlier variation, this doesn't happen. This exchange doesn't happen. This exchange is of course very, very bad for black. But I guess this is still playable because black still has a ko. But I think maybe at this point, Fan just had a misread. He actually played here, trying to set up a capture race with this white group. And Batuk Doctor had, in his video, had a great analysis of this point on. So this move just simply doesn't work. So I think people are still not 100% sure why Fan never played this, because he had so many opportunities to play this, but it ends up happening this way, which means that black lost the game. I think this is just cutting here was just the losing move, this move here. So that's it. Thanks. Bye.